All right. So I discovered when we talked about sneakers as this hype update, or as this hype approach that people should replicate, that there were some sneaker fans, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, did you get those Lego sneakers?" Yes and no. So the way they do those drops now to prevent abuse by bots is you essentially pre-order in a raffle, and then you find out, I don't know if they authorize your card or not, and then there's a 30-minute window, and then they just go, sorry you didn't get it, or all right, it's on the way, order confirmed. And so I didn't get those. I got a pair of Yeezys that I ultimately didn't like. I got to throw those on eBay. And then ended up cracking and buying the hyped up Adidas Lego sneakers on eBay for about $100 more than they retailed for. So I completely, having explained how the false scarcity works, then fell victim to it myself.
This is extremely stupid. In fact, it's like an escalating level of stupid.
Oh, and it's going to get worse. I now have a calendar of other shoes I intend to try to buy, and then as I get them, decide keep or flip. And so we'll see how this idiocy goes.
You're shoe flipping.
Yeah, I enjoy a little casual retail arbitrage for fun and profit.
I don't
need the money, but
in our time apart, I feel like there's a chasm opening between us. It's like I don't even know you anymore.
I believe I always liked buying dumb crap on the internet.
True.
Yeah. That's always...
And you like weird, overly complex schemes. You always were into that.
Yes. Yeah, I just rub my hands together, scheming. So, yeah, that's my sneaker update for the, 12 people who are interested. But you said, we're a chasm has grown between us. I think we could agree that vinyl wrapping my wife's car was totally sick, bro.
All right, yeah, the car is sick. It's a gold car. It's a shiny gold car.
And it's like a satin finish. I prefer mustard yellow, but it kind of color changes a little bit.
It's a C-3PO car.
Yes.
I mean, that was the object of it, and you achieved it.
Yes. So if you're unfamiliar now, if you want to change the color in a car, previously you'd repaint it, and it was very expensive, time-consuming, and didn't always have the best results. Now you literally get vinyl wrap, which it's contact paper, it's sticker sheet. And a professional wraps the entire car in sticker sheet, effectively changing the color, but you're not limited by what paint can do, and it protects the paint underneath, and after 5 years you peel it off. And I enjoy material sciences. I watch a lot of how it's made and Modern Marvels and that crap. That's the level of dad dork I am. And so choose it. And my wife picked the color, and then I found a guy that did it. And the unfortunate part is I really loved it. So now I know, I'm going to have to blow, the cash to do this a second time on another car in the future. It's going to happen. I
mean, it's true. It's pristine. I saw it. I have a boring gray car that's boring and gray.
Well, that was the problem. Is this car was boring in silver. I'd prefer the gray over silver.
I mean, I saw it and I was like, oh, this is sick. I wonder what colors I could get for my car.
I'll give you the swatch book. My neighbor across the street he owns 6 motorcycles. He's down from 16. He has a barn. They're all stuffed in a barn. And he was asking me questions about it. And then I gave him the swatch book. He's already I got this Harley. It's going to get carbon fiber. And God. I was pretty thrilled to spread the madness of vinyl wrap. So please send me your vinyl wrap questions. I'm happy to answer them. All right. Clearly I'm a car guy and bored with a little... Our vacation budget has been properly just blown on stupid things now.
You're not spending any money on vacation.
No. And you... So we'll wrap up our cold open after this one, but I have to know. I want to know. Tell me about Star Wars Squadrons, the game I can't play because I don't have the hardware to do it.
I don't know why it doesn't work on your PC. Your PC should be good enough.
Well, figure it out eventually.
But no, as a nerd of a certain age, X-Wing and TIE Fighter, the PC games were landmark events in my childhood. And, TIE Fighter, perhaps the game I've put more hours into than any other. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, it's like Civ 5, TIE Fighter, Borderlands 2, I don't know.
What year would TIE Fighter be?
TIE Fighter was 95, 94.
So there's some nostalgia here.
93.
What's this new game?
So the new game is Star Wars Squadrons, which is like the first like TIE fighter type flight sim in Star Wars that they've made in an extremely long time, since like X-Wing Alliance in 1998. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to buy this game. And then they announced, oh yeah, it has full VR support. So you're sitting inside the cockpit and like looking around while you're flying. And I'm like, I'm buying this game.
So you heard that and you just went like the full nerd. The nerd alarm went off. You're like, I need this. I need it.
Yes. But yeah, so it's crazy. If there's any VR game that's going to make you barf, it's that one. Because you're like sitting stationary at your desk holding a joystick while you're like moving the joystick in your spacecraft and like wearing the VR headset. So it's just like whirling in 3 dimensions. But your body is like, I'm not moving at all, which causes your brain to be like, we might have to vomit.
That's the funny thing about VR and why whenever I demo it for someone new who's never done VR. We did this with my father-in-law recently. And you strap on the helmet, and then we have them do a game that is essentially a fear of height simulating tech demo.
Yeah.
Called Richie's Plank Experience. There's a 2x4 sticking off the side of a building. Go ahead and walk out on it. The graphics aren't even that good.
No, the graphics are very rudimentary. They're not great.
Yeah, and even with that, every single person, like 9 out of 10 people, their brain tells them, it's not real. It feels real enough that many of us can't do it. I didn't walk out.
I sent you the video of my dad. My dad was having like a semi-meltdown and ripped the helmet off.
Well, it turned out that was like literally one of his recurring nightmares is being trapped on the ledge of a building.
Yeah, I didn't know
And you
that.
unknowingly were like, hey, here it is in a semi-realistic fashion. We brought it to life.
Yeah,
Poor guy.
I traumatized him, which, it's payback.
We'll let people unpack that one on their own.
But yeah, Star Wars Squadrons, I got thoughts about it because I'm an old cranky old man. I'm like, it's not the same as when
Get off my lawn.
It's not the same as when I was 14. Which, that's a good reason to complain about something.
Yeah, it's been some time. So buy it or skip it.
Well, it depends on how much of a dork you are. Whether you got VR setups, whether I don't know.
I'm just looking. Just grade the game so I can move on.
It's all right. It's pretty good. I'll give it a pretty good.
B plus.
No, B.
B, solid B.
It's a B.
All right, I'll live with that. And I still need to play it. Okay, no more video game talk. We have a show about e-commerce to do. This is the unofficial Shopify podcast. I'm your host, Kurt Elster, and I'm joined by my co-host, Paul Rita, who is going as Elvira for Halloween this year. I can't wait.
I got the height and the boobs.
I know it. It's going to look amazing. Are you shaving your chest for this? Or? No, does your neighborhood doing Halloween?
I saw Mount Prospect. I live in Mount Prospect. They had a thing where first of all the suburbs are like, here's the times that we're allowing people to do Halloween, which is like, when I was a kid, wasn't it like, it's Halloween, free for all, go have fun.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden we got to regulate it now. I think they're doing it. I don't know if like there's legal Halloween in Mount Prospect due to COVID. So like, I'm not sure what the status is.
Our neighborhood
I gotta look that
came up with a series of increasingly complex alternatives before including like a Halloween parade and haunted forest, and before finally deciding if you want to accept trick-or-treaters, just turn your light on.
Oh, geez.
I don't see the risk with it. You're wearing masks anyway, you're separated by a screen door, and you're not interacting for any length of time.
Well, I don't know if there's like COVID-encrusted candy.
Well, I don't know. I think it's okay. I'm clearly not an epidemiologist.
I think Halloween is a fine activity too. Also, we are not medical professionals. Don't listen to us.
Please don't listen to me. So, today on the Unofficial Shopify podcast, we are going to discuss some interesting finance data, some research that Paul pulled from, what was it, like 170,000 transactions?
I don't know.
It's quite a few.
I can pull up the spreadsheet if we're going to talk about it.
We're going to talk to our designer, Tom Shedlack, about a sexy site launch we did last week that is really, really cool. I really like it.
It was across 172,000 transactions.
Wonderful. That sounds statistically significant to me. And then we're going to run through the BFCM Black Friday, Cyber Monday crash course, some thoughts on there. Some housekeeping items. The holiday email guide is for 2020 is now live. I updated it. It is bigger, better, badder than ever. And it's $29 right now. And I think I'm going to do tiered pricing. I don't want to reward the procrastinators anymore. You can procrastinate, but now it's going to cost you $20 to $30. So it's $29 right now. November 1st, I'm going to make the guide $39. And then on November 15th, I'm going to jump it to $49.
I like that.
Yeah. Why not? Like, let's reward the people who are who are on the ball and are going to do this thing early and on time. And alternatively, I think as you get closer to Black Friday and you need to send out the emails, a guide that is essentially a shortcut to research and prep becomes worth more. That was my thinking there.
It sounds fine to me.
And we do lifetime updates on it, so if you buy it this year, you get it.
Yeah, I don't like that.
You don't like that?
No.
You should resell it every year?
Yeah, what the hell? Listen, I was in your garage looking at your gold car, and that's like you can fit 3 cars in that garage.
It is a 3-car garage.
If we charged every year, you could get 3 cars in that garage.
Right now I own 1 car, and it's freeing.
And it's gold?
And it's that's 3M's satin bitter yellow.
But yeah, no, we shouldn't be giving these people freebies every year. What are you, crazy?
Oh, I'm committed to it. Well, we'll reassess next year. Next September, tell me not to do it. But for this year, anyone who buys is getting the lifetime updates. And then I think next year it's going to change. I was just joking. No?
I'm fine with it.
No, because I've had other people are like, are you kidding me with this lifetime updates? Like colleagues. Like, what are you doing?
Well, it's like we get enough people every year that buy it, so it's worthwhile for us to do it. If it ever gets to a point where it's like, well, no one bought it because everyone who would have bought it already bought it and is now getting free updates, then we've really screwed ourselves.
Well, we're still reassessing next year. And then I've got that Ezra Firestone Black Friday episode dropped. That was a real hit. And in, I think, next week or the week after, Kurt Bullock's Facebook approach for BFCM is going to drop. So we got some good Black Friday prep resources for people coming up, including this episode. Lastly, without getting into politics, there is an election in the United States coming up. What do we think, if any, that its impact will be on e-commerce sales? Like, do you think that week's just it's over? Like, it's going to be a slump? It'll be unchanged? I guess it depends on your category, I suppose.
I mean, I don't think that affects it. I think a more better gauge would be whether Congress ends up passing another stimulus bill.
Yeah,
which
100%.
Like that.
That's what kicked off the first e-commerce boom.
Bonkers, yeah. So if somehow that happens in the next 3 weeks, I think everyone's going to have a Merry Christmas. If not, and unemployment keeps going up, I don't know what's going to happen.
I do have ongoing guilt about that disparity between, like, if you're in e-commerce, you're thriving, but then meanwhile you're seeing these jobs reports. It's hard, but at the same time, I think some folk. One friend. I don't know if I should name the business, but successful business, frequent poster in our group. He lost his job at the end of last year, and that was probably the best thing that happened to him because now he invested all his time into his e-commerce business, and things really took off. So sometimes, depending on your situation, these things can be a blessing in disguise. But I think for most people, it's just horrifying and frightening.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
No argument.
Let's move on to this financing data you pulled.
Yeah. This goes back to a couple weeks. And it's always a consistent topic within the group is people want to know, like, do these financing things work? Does it increase average order value?
Is it ethical?
Is it ethical?
And the last time we talked, we discussed that.
All these sort of things. I have one question before we delve into the numbers. I thought I saw in another group or something, does the merchant get less money? If a merchant sells something for $100 and the person buys it with Afterpay or Sezzle or whatever, does the merchant get $100 or do they only get $95?
Get this. I literally have no idea how payouts with financing apps work.
God damn it. Well, how are we supposed to educate people if we don't know how it works?
Sezzle merchant payout.
Because because they claim they took a cut out of the merchant's end, in that they're not charging interest to the people, but they're not.
But so does every payment processing solution. That's how they work.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah, it's just a question of, okay, what is it?
Yeah, you're right. I'm an idiot.
Charges the merchant a set percentage and a small processing fee. There's no sign up or setup costs.
All right, so they do take a cut. They take a processing fee.
Yeah, so like a standard payment gateway.
Which you get everywhere, but then they also take an extra fee, it sounds like.
A set percentage and a small processing fee. Yeah, that's like Amex, where it's like a quarter per transaction plus 2.x%.
Oh.
So, no, and it's going to depend on, it sounds like it's dependent on category.
So it's any other payment processor.
Yeah, it works.
They're not taking an extra cut.
And then, how or when do we receive the funds? They transfer the funds from an order to your Sezzle account when the order's placed.
Oh, wow. So you get the money right away.
It sounds like, you get the money straight up.
And again, the people that are buying this pay pretty much zero interest.
It is zero.
It's zero interest.
Yeah. Which,
again, hell of a lot better than their credit card.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Credit card being like 12 to 20. So what did you do here? What's this research you pulled on financing?
Well, I looked at 6 stores that are like 6 of our bigger guns that are our clients that also have some type of afterpayment solution.
So Affirm, Sezzle, Afterpay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're using them. And so I did like a median because like some of them are a lot bigger than others. Like one has 116,000 transactions. One has 1,300 transactions.
Oh, jeez.
And like money, like one does 3.6 million in revenue during these last 90 days. One does 300 grand. So literally 10 times revenue differences and all this other stuff. So averages get weird. But at least the median, 2.4% of the orders used some type of Afterpay solution. So not very many of the orders. However, those orders had 27% higher average order value.
Whoa. So
if the median order on this store was $120 across this cohort of stores, the Afterpay people ended up spending $152.
Wow.
And this is against the standard Shopify, use Shopify, enter your credit card number type stuff.
Yeah. Using Shopify Payments or Stripe or Authorize, whatever the heck.
Yes. Just to be fully transparent, the way the revenue report works, at least the one I had access to, it broke out all of the stuff that's like Apple Pay, PayPal, those types of stuff. So like those are not part of these numbers in any way, either in the...
So the Shop Pay, the dynamic checkout buttons,
all the dynamic checkout buttons
here.
And Shopify Payments where you're like already cross-store logged in.
Okay.
You get that.
Shop Pay, yeah.
Yeah, Shop Pay. So like none of that is included in either side of these numbers.
I love Shop Pay. I'm always disappointed when I go in a store and I put in my email or phone number and I don't immediately get the Shop Pay prompt. Yeah. It just makes it easier to log in. It's got to enable my spending problem.
It's a thing to be mad about.
Well, it's just such an easy it's literally a checkbox. And so for the merchant to not take advantage of it, it's like, okay, clearly just no one told you. You're just unaware. Because why would you not do it?
Yeah, so it's a relatively small number, but on some places it's not. I mean, we have one that sells very expensive car parts where the average order value is $1,000. 9% of their orders are using Affirm.
So if we have... Yeah, so what we noticed here was average order value and financing usage correlate directly.
Yes.
So if you've got a store, the store with the lowest adoption rate also had the lowest average order value, and the store with the highest adoption rate had the highest average order value.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, which makes sense,
it makes sense.
Thinking about it.
Yeah, like I don't, the higher the amount, the more likely I am to use financing because I don't want to give up the cash flow.
Mm-hmm.
Cash is king. Gimme. Mm-hmm. I want to keep it. And so financing could be a very practical thing. All right, so those are two key takeaways. Well, the third is the average order value. If you compare that Shopify AOV versus the financed AOV, people spend more when they finance. Presumably, either it's a mental thing where it's like, well, I'm kicking the can down the road so I could spend more. I think it's more because there's an application process. So it's like, all right, if I'm going to go through this and finance a thing, it's going to be a bigger order.
I'm going to make it worth my while?
Yes. Rather than like, I'm going to do multiple of these purchases separated out. I'd rather just wait
Get it all done
and put it all together in like one larger order. This one's a hypothesis.
I think it's the other way. I think it's like I want to buy $1,200 worth of stuff, and it's easier for me to justify to myself that I'm going to buy $1,200 worth of stuff if I do the payments rather than paying $1,200 right now. Versus,
so it's
versus
just
them
like,
not buying. It's like I want to buy this $1,200 worth of stuff. I can't do it. It's
so
$1,200.
you're right. I'm looking at it the wrong. I'm looking at like I've decided to use financing and then deciding what goes in the cart. So in my head, it was like I add my $800 item, decide I'm going to do financing, and then add $400 in items. Versus you're saying, hey, they decided they're going to blow $1,200, and then financing just made that convenient.
Yeah, I think the alternative to spending $1,200 in financing is not spending anything.
Right. Okay.
I think it's picking up people that maybe otherwise wouldn't have purchased or would have deferred their purchases down the line until they felt more comfortable about it.
That 0% is just very attractive. Like if you think about what spurs house sales and car sales, it's when that interest percentage goes down.
Yeah, I paid off my loan on my car, and my car loan was like 1.8%. So it was just like, oh, this is a free car. Like, I mean, I'm paying the amount for the car, but it's not like I'm it's spreading the payments out over 3 years didn't cost me a thing.
Yeah. It cost you very little.
Well, it cost me literally one extra payment.
Yeah, which worth it to keep the cash.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think the answer here is if you've thought about offering financing, you should probably offer financing.
I think this is an unmitigated win. I think in any way, I don't think it hurts you in any way. And I mean, we have put together a giant grouping of stats here where in every case it is getting used and it is increasing average order value. And it's especially if you should definitely look at it if you have a higher average order value. I mean, even over like $60. I mean, we have a store that the average order value for Shopify payments is $63, and for their Sezzle payments, it's $116. I mean, it's 83%. The average order gets bigger.
And of the financing solutions, my preference is Sezzle because I know those guys. And we've run it on a bunch of stores and it works really well.
Yep.
And they offer, if you hold your money in their account, they'll pay interest on it. Like instead of issuing the payout to your own account, you let Sezzle hang on to it. And then they pay interest that's like way higher than what you'd get in any savings account.
Which is weird.
It's weird and fantastic. Like it's just such an odd... I will look for any way I can add passive income to a business. And that one sounds good to me. All right, moving forward from financing, we launched a site for Vex Clothing, vexclothing.com, who sells... Laura, the founder, has been on VH1 on the show Style to Rock, and she's done a bunch of celebrity styling. She's made a bunch of stuff for Lady Gaga, including the most recent VMAs, and she sells really like couture, high fashion, latex fetish wear on direct to consumer on the Shopify store. And we wanted to elevate it and make it something really special, and so we gave it the creative direction I gave our designer was like, take an editorial style like Vogue and apply that to this content. And the end result came out extraordinary. So I wanted to call him and see if he had any thoughts on it. I don't know how it's going to go. Let's find out.
Yeah. Yeah, Laura is extremely cool. She, in fact, grew up in the same town we grew up in, went to the same high school you went to.
Yep.
And, of course, obviously left there very quickly to go become cool somewhere else.
Whereas we stayed in the suburbs.
Hey, Kurt.
Oh, Mr. Shedlack, how you doing?
Good. How are you? Is Paul there too?
Paul is here as well. He forgot to put on his headphones.
Yeah, apparently I'm supposed to be wearing headphones this whole time. Hey, Tom, what's up?
Oh. Hey, Paul, doing good. How about you?
Good.
So we're recording right now for the show, and
awesome.
I just talked about Vex Clothing. You you did the work on Vex. Really, like I was like, here's the creative direction, and you ran with it and did an extraordinary job. I cannot.
Thank you.
It may be one of the best sites that we have designed and developed. Tell me about it. Open-ended.
Yeah, I mean, I loved this project. It was high fashion. Everything is custom, beautiful. She works with really big names in the entertainment industry. So if you go on there and you look at the celebrity news, you're going to notice Lady Gaga and a bunch of other people. And we just didn't want to do a theme that felt like a template because her stuff is so custom and out there. So it was a long process to make it something really unique. And we started with just black and white wireframes. So we laid out basically the home page, the about page, and the product layout, where we want everything to go. And one of the things that was important was, like I said, to not make it feel like a template. So we do have different elements where we're breaking the grid, the traditional grid, and we want things floating to the side. We have things overlapping to just look more artistic and editorial, almost as if you're looking into, any fashion magazine. And we worked with Laura, our client, to make sure she was happy with the direction. And when we were good with the wireframes, we moved into the design phase, where we brought some color into the layout and then brought in her great images. And the color was very fun to work on because we had a lot of flexibility in the direction we could go. And Laura was great because she's an artist. So she gave some input and I had some ideas and then she had some ideas, and it was just a nice effort of working together. And once the designs were done, I loved that she printed out the entire website and had it all on the ground and then made notes about, I think this could overlap a little bit more, or let's stack the text, the headlines, and it just clicked. I feel like it really just elevated the design, that we were just able to work with the client so smoothly.
Oh, 100%.
And there's just like a bunch of really cool things that we did with the website.
Give me some examples of the cool things.
We have a really nice mega menu at the top of the website. If you hover over the three main collections, which is women's, men's, and custom. And it looks very different than what I've seen on any other site. So you'd have to take a look. And when you hover over any of the links, we have a little animation where a little arrow kind of pops the link over, which I just thought was just like a little effect. Anywhere we could add any little effect to bring some joy to the person that's browsing. We have a huge hero video when you first come to the website. And
that hero video was nuts.
30 seconds, I guess. And Kurt did a really good job reducing it without degrading the quality.
I use Handbrake for that, and then we embed the videos with HTML5 on the site, and it works really well.
Yeah. And as you scroll down the website, we're fading things in just so it's more like an experience. So it's not just every element's already been loaded. It waits for you to get to that section. And I mean, for me, it's important to let the customer know that this is all handcrafted by the artist. So we have a section on there about Laura, and, we got a quote from her. I just tried to make the website very beautiful. I mean, we have different shapes.
And I was going to say the shapes.
Connecting.
If you break the site down to its basic elements, it's color blocking and really careful layouts, and then simple shapes. And so there's no single element where you go oh yeah, that was must have been really hard to do. But when you apply everything and it's so detail oriented, and done in such a careful presentation where there's not widgets and 37 people are looking at this product right now kind of stuff. it just gives it such a clean and professional and high-end look. And that's what we were looking for with this.
And we're breaking it up with quotes. So she has quotes like in the middle of the site and just different ways to tell the story. And then like on the about page, we start with an introduction paragraph. Then we go into more behind the scenes. Then we have a quote. Then we have the section about the magic, which is just showing some behind the scenes of her brand.
And they pop in too, which is
more
cool.
Personal. Yeah, there's like a little bit of like a parallax on them. I made them so they fade in and they fade up.
Yeah, and while you're talking through it, I'm recording a screencast and scrolling through it so that people can.
Oh, cool!
So in the video version, people can see what you're talking about.
And I'm not sure if you want me to touch on like the development of this theme, but so we started with an out of the box theme, but then I completely ripped out the header and the footer. And sorry if you hear some background noise. And the homepage, all those sections were built custom, so you can go in and still edit any of the text and images. But because it has the foundation of the theme that we started with, you still get access to all the default sections. So if you wanted to, put a Google map on the homepage, you could do that.
So this is built on top of Turbo out of the sandbox, right?
Yes. Yep, that's our favorite.
And those core sections,
it's so flexible.
Those sections of the theme settings, most of it still works. So you have the end result is a fully custom theme, but you have still kept a lot of like the features and the flexibility that you would get with a premium theme.
Yes, exactly. Yep, we still have the framework there. So all the original sections are still intact if you wanted to add any of those in. Or any of the other page templates that come with the theme, those are still there.
Cool.
Everything that I built was all just done custom to like keep that stuff there. If who knows down the road she may want.
Right. You never know what is going to come next with the site.
Yeah,
so it's
I don't
nice
want to
to
rip
not
those
give stuff
out.
up. On the product detail page, she's got this really cool color swatch thing. I imagine that's an app. Do you recall how that works?
Yes, that is an app. I would have to look up the name of that, but it does allow like the different colors to be shown.
And so
I don't think we have
color
it.
Swatches of there are photos of each latex material to define the primary color of each item, and it looks really good, and I'm sure it prevents like issues with returns. It's nice, and I also noticed there's a link to the size chart that pops open in a mobile window, but also the size chart is a photo, and then to add social proof, because a lot of the stuff gets worn by celebrities. So like I picked vinyl tube top, and one of the photos is a woman at like a Fox, as in the studio, a Fox like red carpet event where you can see she's wearing the full vinyl outfit. It's cool.
I think the app we're using on this is Bold App's product options.
Oh, okay, good, sweet.
For that. I was there on the celebrity thing. If anyone watched Watchmen, the HBO series version of Watchmen that was out earlier this year, and remembers Lube Man, who was like this weird superhero that was very slippery, and he was wearing a full silver bodysuit. Laura made that full silver bodysuit.
I didn't know that.
That's so cool.
That is cool.
I know. I'm like, after we built it, I'm getting more starstruck. Just seeing like who she has worked with, but then there are already made pieces, so some of them they have already been worn by celebrities, which is very cool. And those could be shipped out. And then some of the other ones that are made to order, there is I'm not sure if you could find one of the examples. It's anything but the ready to be shipped. Those all have an estimated shipping date, and that's just done with some liquid. So it will check today's date and then give a little buffer of a couple weeks. Oh. That way, when people order it, they know that.
Look. Oh yeah,
so
at the top of the product description. You're right. It says this item is handmade and will ship by Thursday, November 12 if you order today. So that's a liquid statement stuck in there that does that.
Conversions. Yeah, that's a liquid thing. Anyone that has a handmade product that needs a buffer could do that in their feed. It's just some liquid code you'd have to just put in there before the description, And I think it just helps, with some reassure the person that when they would get it. I think like putting a date is just really great for
Tom,
That's really smart.
getting people to add to cart.
Tom, I remember we talked about injecting video into the collection grid. Did that ever end up happening on any of the collections? Do you know?
On the women's and the men's, we have just a static image on the second row, last column.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just to break up the product. So technically you could use that as a call to action if you wanted to. Or it could, you could direct people to a page or a specific product. We're just showing a static image, but video would be another option that would give some movement to the page.
Yeah, we did that on a Sutra, and
we got Venus Williams using the product that's shown directly next to the video.
Yeah,
and we use portrait video, and the photos are portrait. It looked really cool.
Yeah, and I'm writing a theme for us right now that the current plan is that every collection page will have a specific video on it in a certain slot. So you're right. It'll be really cool. Have a lot of movement. It'll make the a collection grid page a little more exciting.
That's cool.
I really like 360 videos where we have on one of the other projects we're working on where they're modeling the garment and they just do a 360. They walk into the frame, they spin around, and they walk out. I think that would be awesome.
On Stakini?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Stakini video is really cool. Yeah, they walk...
Especially if it loops perfectly when they leave. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they walk in and out of the frame. But it looks like it's the product video.
Yeah,
it's really cool. And we've seen a few. I think Gymshark did that.
There was a couple. There was a teardown we did that.
All right, Mr. Shedlock.
Yeah, this was great. I'm happy to share some about the project with you guys.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I like the background, and I love how much love you put into it, and it really shows. And it's such an unusual and beautiful and well executed site. And certainly, there's no way it would have achieved this look or we could have managed this without having extraordinary content from the client. And over and over, that's the thing that makes or breaks people. It's we need the content, and the content needs to tell a story. If you don't have that, I can't design my way out of it. So you did.
I mean, we try our best. We'll dig in and be we need a little bit more personable information about your staff or your business, or why did you invent this product? Because usually it's if people haven't heard of the brand before, the about page is just so important. Anything we can do to just get people to click with the brand. And she did that. She gave us a lot of great copy.
No, yeah, it worked. We'll include that. People should check it out. And if you're looking for some unusual gift items, certainly you could find something here. My wife has custom Minnie Mouse ears, like a headband that's all latex that Laura made. That is one of the coolest things we own. That's a prized possession.
Yeah.
I'll send you a picture of it. It's neat. All right. Thank you, Tom. I'm going to let you go.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Bye.
Tom. Great work. All right, now that the fun time's over, I gotta say something, and Tom's gone.
All right.
I don't get this website. It does not excite me in the slightest.
And you, as a man who does not appreciate latex couture fetish wear, that's why. And I think that is okay, and that is a sign of a really strong brand. It should polarize people, especially something niche like this, where we're going to show up and we have presented it so well, you immediately go, this isn't for me. That means we did it right.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't want you to show up to the site and be on the fence. I want to be like Pit Vipers, where they say that website's going to slap the Oakleys off your face, and you're either going to go, this is ugly, and quit, in which case, great, we're not going to waste our time with you. You were never our customer. Or you go to land it and immediately go, I'm listening. Show me more of these fine latex stockings or pencil skirt. I don't know. I'm not buying a pencil skirt.
Yeah, I really crushed your dreams because you sent a link to me when it was in beta. You're like, check out this thing Tom did. Look how good it is. Oh my god! And I was just like, yeah. I was like, this is good.
This is good. This is fabulously good.
I care a lot about fashion, Kurt.
Yeah, I don't
You've
think
seen
you
me
do.
wear the same outfit for 10 years.
Shorts, your favorite flip-flops, and a minor league baseball tee. That's the Paul uniform. There's nothing wrong with that. But no, you're just not shopping for a $200 latex dress.
I will concede I'm not the target market.
So yeah, I think it works in that sense. Okay, we got Black Friday, Cyber Monday coming up. It is around the corner. I have mentioned it more than a few times here. And before we know it, it's going to be here. Can we put together in 10, 15 minutes a crash course and like, here's high level, this is what you need to do, here's what's going to happen?
Email?
100%.
That's it. Just email people.
Yes.
Have a good sale. Have a good value add is not the word I'm looking for.
Promotion?
A good promotion. Yeah. A good thing that you're going to be giving people. Discounts, free gifts, something.
All right, so it's gotta go big, or you can't separate signal from the noise. So my ideal is exclusive limited product, either via new product launch or free gift with purchase or a bundle, whatever it is. But barring that, site-wide sale.
Yeah.
And with a handful, like, we got some distressed inventory we want to get rid of. Okay, sell it at cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, doorbust, get rid of it. But there's so many other people offering amazing sales. It can't be mediocre, can't be lukewarm. So I think those are really your only two options. So you're right. First, we got to start with the offer. That works.
And then just email everyone until they hate you.
Well, you use segmenting.
And you want them to hate you.
Yes.
Isn't the rule that it's like, if you're not consistently seeing people unsubscribe, you aren't emailing enough.
It would be weird if you sent out a broadcast email and no one unsubscribed. That I would find extremely suspicious.
Because like it means that no one opened it.
Yeah. There's just no way anyone has written an offer that compelling that no one unsubscribes as soon as you're asking for their money.
Yeah.
So now I think email is going to be your primary channel. That is the own channel. Right now, because of political ads and because of people shifting spend away from traditional media to promote a website as opposed to a retail store that could be closed or at limited capacity, Facebook ads and PPC ads in general, the costs are way up right now. So I already saw two people this morning emailed me and were like, hey, are you seeing any other clients with like terrible or declining ROAS right now? And the answer is yes. And it's because people are likely going to slow down on spending because they know Black Friday is around the corner. And the dark secret of Black Friday is a chunk of those sales that you make, not all of them, but a chunk of your holiday sales are really sales deferred from October and late September.
Yeah.
That's the dark truth.
We know that that's true.
Yes. So you're going to see things are going to be a little soft right now, and your ad costs are going to go up. And then on top of it, you're competing against huge brands like Walmart and Target who aren't open on Black Friday this year and instead are going to shift people to their website. Well, to promote that, they're going to do the most obvious thing. They're going to go to the traffic store, Facebook ads, and buy their traffic there. Well, that's going to mess you up. So right now, I think you need to be focusing on building those own channels, your SMS list, your email list, and your remarketing list. And if you collect those emails, Klaviyo will let you sync them to a custom audience in Facebook and then remarket to them. I don't want to be buying traffic right now. I don't want to be sending cold traffic if I can avoid it especially in the back half of November. So I think like focus on own channels, focus on having a really good offer. And then I think the other thing you need to be doing is, email more than you think. I know Ezra said he does 50 to 60 emails.
I mean, if you have
person,
if you have not listened to last week's episode with Ezra where he breaks everything down, you absolutely need to listen to it.
Oh, it's so good.
100% a must listen. He makes millions of dollars every single year. And he's just like, here's exactly what I do. I'm just going to open my little box of secrets and tell you all of it. Yeah.
So it's an open book.
Yeah. He's totally fine with it.
Oh, it's great. A rising tide lifts all ships. Said more emails than you think. And then I think the final piece is this year, Black Friday, we normally have like it's 25 to 30 days between, or like 20 to 25 days. How many days do I have between Black Friday and Christmas?
Well, it's got to be more than 25.
All right. 25 to 30.
It's called 30. I don't know when Thanksgiving is.
This year it's 26 days. And
it can't be 26 days.
No?
Well, if Christmas is the 25th, is Black Friday November 30th?
Oh yeah, no, I can't do arithmetic. Uh-oh. Oh no. But the shipping dates this year, like the shipping cutoff dates, look the same as last year. So but Black Friday comes a little earlier this year.
All right, so Black Friday would be November 27th, which means 28 days until Christmas Day. Obviously, if you're selling stuff on Christmas Day, it's not getting shipped before Christmas.
Yeah, and like really by December 15th is when we're going to start hitting those cutoff dates.
Okay.
So that's your window in which people can buy online. It's not that big. So,
well, but I think it's crazy to put the focus on Black Friday anyway, because isn't there some crazy stat that like half of all Christmas shopping is done by Black Friday at this point?
There are people who start their Christmas shopping in October. I have already purchased several gifts for my kids. We established this is the gift budget. Let's make the list, and we already started getting it out of the way. For like at least for some like Legos, we know they don't go on sale. So if I can get 5% off from Target, I'll just buy those and get it out of the way right now, and then I'm not. Giant credit card bill doesn't show up in January. Just space this stuff out. But I think the smart money is on starting earlier this year. And the way you do that, I think, is going to be early bird sale, where you do like, hey, you're a VIP, or you email your whole list. Hey, if you want to know about the sale early, sign up here. Or, hey, you made a purchase in the last 12 months. We appreciate that. Or, hey, you're a VIP customer, which we define as like you've spent more than $500 with the brand, whatever it is. And so we want to thank you and reward you. And we're going to run our Black Friday sale early. We call it the VIP early bird sale. You get access to it. And so you run the sale 2 weeks early. You run it in early November. And then that way you can run a soft version of an early test soft version of your sale. And if it works, great, then you rerun the same thing at Black Friday. So now we're running the sale twice. We're capturing that value twice. And we get to test it out and make sure that the offer lands and resonates with people, with the audience.
And if people buy during that, I mean, I'm just thinking more about Ezra's thing. He was and even the week before that, we were talking a lot about pruning your list and like getting non-buyers off your list. So it's like, can we use that early sale? Because if they bought during the early sale, I don't think we're not going to be hitting them as hard during the actual Black Friday, are we?
Yeah, I would definitely use segmentation. So what you could do is segmentation and automation. So one of the things I would do is anyone who makes a purchase, and this is from Ezra, you then email them the next day, hey, if you want to make a second purchase, here's you got 48 hours, here's an extra 15% off, whatever it is. So we try and extend that customer lifetime value on autopilot. So when we say 50 to 60 emails, some of these are triggered, they get additional emails triggered by their actions.
Yeah, one human being is not getting 50 emails from you.
No. And so the other thing we could do is if, let's say, they made a purchase and then 7 days later the sale happens, maybe you want to segment them out so they're not like, I just bought that thing that's now 30% off.
Yeah.
Because that's always annoying. So maybe you want to segment them out, or hey, they made the purchase, so like let's not keep hitting them up with like sales ending. But depending on how aggressive you want to get, maybe you want to. Maybe people do tend to make repeat purchases. Well, it's going to depend on the brand.
Well, I think it would be a good thing, again, I mean, and this goes back to something we've talked about before, is if you have some sort of accessory or side thing where it's like if people buy X, they might also end up wanting Y, which goes with X. So if they buy X and the sale's ending, but they've already bought, send them the email. It's like, hey, the sale's ending. It's your last chance to buy Y to go with the X you already bought.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So cross promo.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Yeah. Anything we could do to add, because the way you phrase that's adding value to the customer. Like, hey, do you want this accessory? Hey, we saw you bought a digital camera from us. Did you want the tripod, the memory card, like that kind of thing? All right, let's make it a better experience for them. And then we're also extending our own customer lifetime value. And then I'm not paying to acquire this customer. I already have them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
And plan. That's the other thing. It's like, of doing the sort of early bird type sale thing. On the one hand, people are going to have bought, but on the other hand, who's hot.
Yes.
By having the early bird sale.
Anything. Well, and I think the other thing to look at is like make sure you've got opportunities to increase average order value. So upsells from one product to a bundle, or cross sells like, hey, you bought the memory, or you bought the camera by the memory card kind of thing. I like the bundles though, Because you can go in Shopify, and there's a report in there called Website In-Cart Analysis, where it just goes, hey, for the last 30 days, here are the items that got added together. So Shopify will straight up tell you, this is the stuff you should be bundling or cross-selling. And what's great about doing it as a bundle is it's like, all right, let's say people who bought glass cleaner also bought a microfiber glass cleaning cloth. Okay, so now I'm going to sell those as a combo, as their own separate product. If someone adds glass cleaner to cart, then I use bold product upsell, and what I love about it is it'll go, for just $5 more, did you want to upgrade to the combo? So instead of like, I'm not adding a product and I'm not saying buy the combo for $15. I'm saying for $5 more, get more value.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. Or something for increasing average order value, you just, you set a threshold that's like, well, if you spend $60, you get this like free gift with purchase.
Oh!
And then like people got it. I mean, if I'm already spending $49, I'll spend the extra $11 to get the free gift.
If you think your only option is site-wide sale, do a tiered promotion. So let's say we go, all right, we're gonna do a site-wide sale and it's 25% off everything. Don't do that. Do 25% all purchases over $75, 20% off all purchases over $50, 15% off all purchases over $35. So break it down as tiered, and then, yeah, like you're doing this big discount, but you're also really ramping up the average order value in doing that.
I think you went in the wrong direction on that.
Did I?
The more they spend, the percentage off should be higher.
Yeah, that's what I thought I said.
I don't think that's what, I don't know. I wasn't listening. I was looking at my phone.
Okay.
We've already established you can't do math, so.
I really can't. And I gave my graphing calculator to my 11-year-old. I was explaining it to him.
And he told you were a loser.
Yeah, he laughed at me. He goes, I already know. I'm like, well, I didn't learn how to use this until I was 13. Shame. That brought shame upon my household.
Yeah, well, you crossed that Rubicon years ago.
Anyway, let me put my more makeup on.
Do we have thoughts on like everyone's like Black Friday, Black Friday, Black Friday. We got thoughts on the back end, like end of December. It's December 20th. It's after December 20th. It's the week after Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's. What are we doing then?
Good question. A lot of people, they got time off during that period, and they've got money burning a hole in their pocket.
They got that Christmas money from grandma.
That's right. And so doing a promo like literally on Christmas where you go, hey, didn't get what you wanted.
Yeah.
Here's 15% off our bestsellers. Boom. Those sales often work really well, and a lot of brands don't run them, and email in general is pretty quiet at that time. So you stand out by offering it, and we know that that people suddenly have like disposable income, and they're thinking about gift giving, so they'll buy themselves something.
And they're like trapped at their uncle's house where everyone's like, bah, bah, bah. They're looking at their phone and feeling kind of crappy, and then suddenly your email appears, and it's just like, hey, want to make yourself feel better by buying something? How about you buy something?
I like it. We need some Christmas music. How much of this can I play before it's copyright infringement?
I don't know. 3 seconds, I wouldn't go more than that, because the YouTube's got the automatic thing.
Oh, no.
We're going to get a copyright strike.
No, I'm glad you brought that up. That's a good point. Okay, I think
New Year's Day,
that's always like, new year, new you.
Well, if you got anything left over too that you're like, ugh, well, this part of my Christmas didn't work out. Get this out of here. You really just like 80% off. Get rid of it.
All right. That's it for us today on the Unofficial Shopify Podcast. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this episode. Please join our Facebook group. Search the Unofficial Shopify Podcast Insiders on Facebook. And I think that's all of that song I could play.
If we keep it quiet, Phil Spector won't get us.
No, I'm so scared of Phil Spector. Actually, I should be. Oh, my God.
He's in jail.
He made a great album, then did horrible things.
He made a lot of great albums.
Phil Spector. I'm jimming the camera for Phil Spector. All right. See you guys.
All right. Bye.